Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, it's your friend Doc Garcia, man. And today, I want to speak about energy drainers. You know, it's people out here in the world that will steal your energy. We all have a set amount of energy that we have within us. You can feel this. It's mental energy, spiritual energy, physical energy. You know, and your energy is very important. Oftentimes those who are, more empathetic tend to pour into other people and neglect themselves. I've been guilty of this a couple of times. For example, you know, I've had plenty of people, in my personal life ask for my help. Now, what kind of help? Usually it's some type of financial help because Lord knows some of these people that I call my loved ones, I'm not saying any names, but some individuals that I called my loved ones have taken from me, have taken an exorbitant amount from me, actually. And I'm not just talking about money wise. You know, I had a friend once upon a time for 10 years, um, that she was a female friend that I knew from the military, knew her for a decade. Um, I told her I was going to go on a spiritual journey. And her reaction to that, was, well, you don't care about me. And I really didn't understand that reaction. But I noticed that once you try to pour into your own cup instead of pouring it into someone else's, they feel like you're taking something away from them. When that's not the case at all. I'm just trying to better myself. So, you know, I lost a 10-year friendship with a person who I thought loved me as a friend, and they basically told me, that I'm nothing and that I'm responsible for another one of my friends committing suicide simply because I wanted to go on a spiritual journey. I never once said I didn't want to be friends with her. I never once said that I don't have love for her. I just wanted to go on my own path for a second, just so I can find inner peace and find myself. And for some reason, she thought that she was excluded from my life because of that. And when you start to have inner peace, when you start to go on your own journey, your own path, a lot of truths will be revealed. A lot of people that you thought were in your corner will not be in your corner because they can't use you anymore. This friend of mine, she had three kids. Three kids. One of whom was special needs. Which means, this guy was bigger. He was a kid, but he was bigger than me. He had the mental functioning of an 18-month-old, and he used to hit me all the time. Now, any other guy, any other person would have seen that situation, and they would have been like, I'm not hanging around this person if I'm going to get hit by their kid all the time. Then you had another one of her kids, the other son, who was basically, running off at the mouth to me all the time. And then you had the daughter who disrespected my branch of service, even though I basically helped raise all three of those children when their own fathers didn't help. I went to all three of their graduations. Yes, even the mentally challenged one. He had like a mentally challenged school that he went to. I've gone to all three of their graduations. I've spent time with them. And I just gave and I just poured into her, my friend, her kids, and all of that. And I look at it in retrospective hindsight, and she never really cared for what I wanted. She knew from the beginning I always wanted my own family. She knew from the beginning that, what my goals were with life and education and all that. And as a friend, I thought she would support that. She didn't support that, because if she did support that, she would have been happy for me to go on my spiritual journey that I mentioned. But instead, she felt as if, okay, well, now I used you for everything that you have. You raised all three of my children, and basically now you're just no good. I basically raised all three of her children for her when her own baby daddies didn't help. And I've given and I've given and I've given for 10 years. And now she feels like, now that all three of her kids are out the house, that she can just say whatever to me. And she just told me that I was responsible for the suicide of my best friend, Eric, who I got tattooed on my arm right here. She said the most hurtful thing to me that I ever heard in my life. And I never expected that to come from her. I pray for this girl every day. Even though I'm not friends with her anymore, I pray for her every day. Because I still love her and her kids. That was my friend for 10 years. But how can I be friends with somebody that's telling me that you're responsible for somebody committing suicide simply because I won't pour into your cup as much anymore? Because I need to save some of my energy for me. So there's that, Then you have the situation of my girlfriend. My girlfriend who I've been with for 4 years. My girlfriend who I've been with for 4 years that I proposed to a couple of months ago. Now, I have shared some of the best moments of my life with this woman. In my eyes, I thought this woman was my future wife. I thought that this woman, in my opinion, was the most beautiful woman on earth. Even though she has said a lot of things to hurt me. Well, I've spent some of the best times in my life with her. She was, she helped me recover from the car accident I had that almost took my life. She met some of my family. I met some of hers, all of that. So I thought we were on track to have some type of longevity because we've been with each other for 4 years. And I thought that would lead somewhere, even though some of her goals weren't aligned with mine. I wanted to have children. And I've poured into this woman I poured into my girlfriend, Liz, for 4 years. And it's crazy because I proposed to her about 2 months ago. And she said no. This is a woman who I've loved, who I've cared for, who told me that I will follow you anywhere. These are real strong words to a man. When a woman tells a man some words like, I will follow you anywhere, those are some serious words. All the pillow talk and all that, I love you stuff, it didn't mean anything because she basically didn't want me like that, which is why she didn't accept the proposal. She was using me the whole time. Ended up finding out she was dating some guy. Of course, he had more money than me because it's always about the money, right? And then, she didn't want me anymore. She didn't care about me. I got a string of texts that showed that she didn't care about me from day one. She knew I wanted to have a family. She knew, my girlfriend, not my friend, my girlfriend Liz, who I proposed to, She knew that I wanted to have children from the beginning. And she didn't care. Matter of fact, she told me that she was, when she met me, she was on quote unquote some hot girl summer stuff, which I'll get into later on in another video, as far as like, promiscuity and how that taints the soul. But I proposed to her and she said no. And keep in mind, a lot of these two things happened at the same time, around the same time. My best friend, Michelle, told me that I was responsible for Eric's death, my friend Eric. So I can't be friends with her no more. And my girlfriend, Liz, rejected my proposal. Now keep in mind, all of this happening around the same time that I got furloughed from my job. Needless to say, for the first time in my life, I think I had a nervous breakdown. Because nobody was here for me. I didn't have a friend no more. I didn't have a girlfriend that I thought loved me anymore. And why is that? Because I poured so much and given so much to other people and poured so much into other people's cups. Let's not mention family members, like my little brother that's in prison. I'm the only man in the family to support him. I'm the only man in the family to take his phone calls. The only man in the family to write him letters. The only man in the family to ever really visit him in jail. And the only man in the family that keeps giving him commissary because nobody else in the family wants to do it. No other man in the family wants to do it, so I have to be the one to do it. Because just because he's in prison, that doesn't mean that he's not my brother anymore. So I'm pouring into his cup as well. I'm pouring into the cups of other family members and stuff as well. And I'm, certain ones that ask me for money and all of that. I'm not going to get into that. And I notice who's pouring into my cup. Nobody cares about, especially me being a big black man, who basically has a certain type of resolve and grit. A lot of people know me for my strength, physical and mental, within my social circle, but that doesn't mean I don't have my challenges. Nobody cares about my struggle and pouring into my cup. Nobody pours into my cup. And herein lies the challenge that I face as a man, especially as a black man in America. Nobody cares. And it's really sad sometimes. My point being, you can't give and give and give and give and give and give until you're totally depleted. No matter how much you love these people, you can't just keep giving and giving and giving, and you all to the point where you don't have anything for yourself anymore. I have given so much. God, I've given so much. One video can't describe how much that I have given to others, trying to do the right thing, trying to be a decent man. But herein lies the issue. You have to know when people are using you. You have to know when people are just taking and taking and taking, and you have to know how to shut that down. Because if you don't shut it down, that they're going to continue to do so. This includes parents, friends, lovers, people at your job. I'm telling you, that song from Bill Withers, Use Me, pretty much explains a good portion of some of my life. And I've poured into people so much and so often, it's left me mentally drained, spiritually drained, financially drained. Because some of these people act as if I don't have my own struggles. I may seem like I have it all together all the time, and that's because I pray to God a lot, and I try to keep a lid on everything. Because I can't afford to fall apart. As one of the key men in my family, I don't really have the luxury to fall apart like that. And it sucks because I, as a man, always got to be the strength for other people. And it's almost like I'm never allowed to feel or go through my own struggles. And it sucks sometimes. Because Lord knows it's I'm struggling sometimes. And I don't have it together all the time. But nobody is there for me because I don't ask for handouts, and I'm not breaking down 24/7 and all that, but still nobody gives a damn. Nobody cares. Sorry, I try not to curse. But at the end of the day, you have to learn to say no. And you have to learn to do it politely and with some grace, but you still have to say no. You have to say, like, for example, they'd be like, yeah, I need money for this or blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that right now. Or they'd be like, I need this, I need that, blah, blah, blah. Another way to shut that down, I'm sorry, I can't commit to that right now. But, I can do this. Like, add an option if there are options. But there are ways to say no to even people you love. Because I swear some of these people will stretch you thin if it's up to them, and they don't care because they act like they're the only ones with money problems. They act like they're the only ones with spiritual and mental problems or whatever, and they think that they could just take away from my cup so I can give to theirs. Trial and error is life's best teacher, man. And to be honest, trial and error has taught me a lot. Trial and error has brought me to right now. And the trial and error that I've experienced is the trial of pouring into other people and the error of pouring too much into them. Save some of that energy for yourself. Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the human body, the human experience is unique. I think we all vibrate off of certain energies and certain levels. And you can feel this a lot of times. It's just a lot of y'all tend to ignore it because you don't know how to properly identify it. Of course, I'm sure you guys heard of low vibrational and high vibrational energies. Like low vibrational energies is, paying attention to the shade room and the gossip and all of that stuff, talking down on others behind their back, constant drug use to anesthetize yourself to reality, giving into vices all the time, not having self-discipline. That's low vibrational. High vibrational energy is doing stuff like self-care, taking care of yourself, praying, meditating, drinking water, spending time with family members and loved ones, gaining knowledge, reading. That's high vibrational stuff. And I think we operate off of frequencies. For a while, I was a low vibrational kind of guy because I'm human. It's like you see all this negative stuff in the world, you consume all this negative stuff in the world, and eventually you become negative. I was that guy. I'm not that guy. I try my best not to be that guy anymore. I try to be a high vibrational kind of guy. And I try my best to be my best. And even in failure, I can still have a smile on my face because I know I gave it my all, you know? And that goes for friendship, that goes for family, that goes for, lovers or whatever, you know? So pay attention to your energy. Pay attention to how much of that you give out. Pay attention, to the fact that you need to keep some of this energy for yourself. Because energy flows where energy goes. And if you're constantly giving your energy to negative things, if you're constantly giving your energy to people who just suck out your energy drainers, then you're not going to be within, you're not going to operate within your best potential. And you also get a lot of energy drainers from like people at work and, society and all of that stuff. Like somebody might talk crap about your clothes or what you got on. People might, talk down on, this celebrity gossip and all that. And then people will be negative 24/7. You can't let that negativity affect you. So stay focused. I could go a lot longer on this, but I don't want to make this an hour-long video. So that's all I had to say on this subject. Once again, it's your friend, it's your man, 100 Grand Doc Garcia. Out. Peace.